Hello, happy people. Hope you guys are doing great. And good morning, Snow Machine. Good morning from Fort Yukon, Alaska. Sunny Fort Yukon, Alaska. It's roughly 33 below zero right now. And I am in town for just a few days to go work on the clinic and make sure all the systems are working good there, because we're starting to roll into the cold snap of the year. And my wife just texted me actually that it sounds like if you include wind chill, this weekend might get to around 55 below zero. Yeah, might be a bit of a party. If you're new to the channel, just for those of you that don't know, like, I have been coming to remote parts of Alaska, villages, small cities for, gosh, the last couple decades. I've been to 40 plus remote areas. Really, the populations are right around 100. This is like a mini hub here, Fort Yukon. That's around 500 or 600. So they actually have vehicles, which are nice, as opposed to just four-wheelers and snow machines. Fort Yukon is able to help and kind of just like send supplies as a hub out to the smaller villages. That is where I am now, and I'm gonna get to work, but actually I might share a little later. I've got some pretty interesting experiences over the last 20 or so years. I've born and raised in Alaska, so I guess that makes me a native Alaskan, but I'm not an Alaskan native, if I said that right. So the people here in a lot of these remote areas of Alaska and villages, they actually have generational for almost thousands of years. Their history goes back. I've learned a lot over the years about coming to remote places like this, so I thought I might try to share some of that a little later. But first, I need to get back to the job site, get some work done. So let me go and send you back home, though, to my wife, check on the family, and see how they're doing.
Hope you guys are doing fantastic. What are we gonna do, Aj?
We're gonna go decorate some Christmas cookies.
Decorate some Christmas cookies for
our neighbors.
Our neighbors, and maybe just some folks that we would just like to bless. We're gonna do it kind of in a fun way. Normally we make it. Normally we'll make the cookies or the treats or anything like that, but we're at a special cookie decorating class type of vibe. It's like super, super fancy cookies. Oh my goodness gracious. So we are gonna go attempt our hand at some really fancy cookies. Super, super awesome business located here in North Pole. We'll take you along, go show them all the things, because today's random act of kindness is going and delivering cookies to our neighbors. To send you back to Bert, because he is still in Fort Yukon getting all the work done and all the things, but we were able to put together some fun little bags for those folks. Hopefully he'll be able to find a place where they can go deliver them and all the things. All right, let's head on in. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you a little nervous?
I don't know how I'm gonna do. We're gonna see though.
We're not sure. We don't know if we're gonna do very good. Okay, it's gonna start any minute, so let's head on in.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and
I've been driving all night long to the place where I belong, back to where I started from, the only place that I call home. Listening to the radio, I thought we'd stay until the end. It wasn't always right, but it wasn't all that bad. This was all we had. And when I see it now, I always feel so free. I guess this town's still a big part of me.
Reason alarm? Yeah. All right, let me go back. Auto on 3. Is your alarm clear?
Oh, yes, it did.
Cooling coil turned on? We're getting some stuff done. Everything's been flowing well, everything's been testing out, a couple minor things and tweaks, and that I think we're in good shape. I'm here for a couple more days though, just to verify. This kind of extreme cold weather can really take a toll on buildings like this when you start changing the mechanical systems and the heating systems. So we're going to make sure it's good, verify, take a quick break, and I don't know if my wife showed you, but she was able to put together these little bags just for some small Christmas presents. If you think of like Operation Christmas Child, but maybe more direct. We're going to go bring this to the local church, go meet the pastor, and actually probably go attend church service here. They have a ministry where that's kind of what they do. They'll go get like a big crate in like Fairbanks North Pole area and have it shipped in and be able to give that to a lot of the kids that maybe aren't getting presents this year or not getting very much. But this is actually going to be a big help for them, so hopefully we'll be able to be a blessing. All right, let's get to church. All right, that was awesome. I guess they have a ministry that they said that could really use those presents. So that is amazing. I love it. Okay, I want to touch base on some stuff, guys. Like I said, I've been to so many communities out here, probably at least 40, but I've never spent a lot of time, but just enough to get a bit of a feeling. So if you do get the opportunity to come to these remote parts of Alaska, and these villages and small cities, just a couple things. One is, and some of this is just common sense, you're used to a way of living where you are, maybe in the lower 48 or in a larger city, and you come to a place like this, you really need to just take a step back and take a moment and just realize that people live differently here. And it doesn't make it wrong, it doesn't make it right, it's just different. And coming in with expectations for things, like you might, for example, expect to have a nice warm airport terminal when you land here, and you will not have that. You will have basically what we're standing in right here. You're gonna have the outside. You're gonna be able to call Uber and have them come pick you up, because this is actually an awesome place because they have a barge, they actually have vehicles, but a lot of times it's just snow machines and four-wheelers. When I was going out to Caltag, I remember riding in the back of a snow machine at roughly 50 below, banging away, just sitting in the back, and where you're not even supposed to sit, and holding my bags. And like, wow, this is just a very, very unique experience, right? Some of the first times going out into villages. The thing that I learned early on too is do not bring alcohol out to villages unless you've done some research. Now this particular place, Fort Yukon, they allow alcohol. I think you have to buy it here locally, I'm not 100% sure, but you actually have dry, wet, and damp. But just do your research on that, because a lot of places are dry, and it is illegal for you to bring alcohol to those places. Also, if you're expecting to make the next flight out of here, sometimes you can kind of feel like you're kind of trapped if you have that mentality. You want to definitely come out and have like hey, if the flight comes, I will be on the next flight. Because sometimes you can be weathered in for days or even weeks, depending on how bad the weather is. I mentioned this first, but don't just come to places like this unless you know somebody. In larger places like Nome and like Barrow, I think you're okay. And actually maybe even here, but like you can't just come here and just get the local Airbnb. You've got to know somebody, otherwise you might be stranded. If you do get stuck somewhere where you don't know someone, you're there, you don't know what to do. I've had this happen before where I'll show up and there's no one to pick me up. What do? Go to the school. It's always go to the school. Sort of like the local community center, if you will. So realize There's almost no law enforcement presence. There is a VPSO officer here, I noticed. But again, this is like a mini hub, but a lot of times there's nothing, so they will self-police. And it is not like you can just call 911. So if you get hurt, like here, there is a pretty good sized clinic, but they're not always well staffed. And the smaller places don't have, like, there's a lot of time there's no staffing. They'll like coordinate, you know, some medical people to fly in for a week or so and do some procedures. But so just like you have to kind of look out for yourself and realize that you also need to be real polite too to everyone around you, because you're kind of leaning on the community, they're leaning on you, you're kind of working together. We'll talk to Pastor Jeremiah. He said the one thing that he tells his missionaries that come up to small communities is to be teachable. Be teachable. Because you're always trying to learn. Like, you might come up here that you want to go do some kind of ministry, but realize you might need to go be a plumber. You might need to be an electrician. You might need to go help someone get their boat motor running. And just trying to adapt to the people here and the needs. And it is always changing. It really is. Something the pastor said that was also pretty interesting, I felt, was he says a lot of the different villages all have a little bit of a different culture. And, you know, if things are going to be different here in Fort Yukon versus Venati or Chalkitsik or Kaltag and Chistachina, like they're all a little bit different, and you have to adjust to that particular culture. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Thanks for coming with me to Fort Yukon, Alaska. It's definitely, I feel definitely very relaxed and at home when I come to places like this. Like, it's frozen in time. And it's just a very different way of life, but a very peaceful and slower moving way of life. You can learn to appreciate that the more you come to places like this. So, all right, you guys are awesome. See you guys in the next video.
Making our Christmas memories, oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.